and Juicy Beast is one of our more popular game developers on Kongregate. And you guys want to introduce yourselves?
No, you should do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
Nah. All right. Go ahead.
Well, I'm Dominic.
And I'm Johan. We're both the co-founders.
Yep.
And there's two other great guys over there that you can't see, but there's Alex, our programmer, and JP, our artist.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Oops.
Great. So tell us how GCB started. How did you guys get going with making games?
It was about 5 years ago. So we've been doing this for 5 years now. We started the whole company project
in college.
Yeah, back in school, because there was a project that we had to create a fake company, but do it like for real, like find an office and everything, which we did. This is the office we found back at school, and we built the whole thing, and the project was good enough that some teachers helped us out. We had some family members helping us out as well for everything legal and accountability.
Yeah, which was great because starting a company is pretty hard when you don't know anything
Yeah,
about it.
we almost didn't do any games back in school, like maybe one or two, but they weren't fun, and we had no real game design classes, so we kind of just went with our guts and tested our skills ourselves, because we never learned how to do games before.
Properly, at least.
Yeah.
Well, from school.
Yeah,
So
we
did
knew
you have programming backgrounds, or did you? How did you?
it was a
Well,
what do you call it?
the class was the program was called.
Multimedia integration.
Yep.
So yeah, we were formed to assemble pretty much any kind of media together. Like you know how to work with code, with graphics, with sound, with video, and you're kind of the typical job you get out of it is that you're kind of in the middle of a team and you can assemble pretty much anything that anybody does together. So you're not specified in anything.
No, you just know a bit of everything, but you don't know
Yeah.
unless you want to be a coder in the future. You can specifically work more on your program class, but basically you just learn how it works with all the media.
So,
Okay, so it sounds like you came from a digital media background and you got your feet wet with everything, which sounds absolutely perfect for making games.
Yeah. So and we Dominic, me, and Alex went to the same school together. GP studied traditional animation, like frame by frame on paper, stuff like that. And we all had the same scholarship,
Yeah.
teachings, whatever. But we all had our specific strengths. Like Alex is really good in code, and we're not that good, but we have other strengths. So the team is pretty well balanced, even if we have the same background.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Cool. So what is the first project you worked on together after forming the company?
Well, we wanted to test if we could work together, so we made a game called Gobtron.
Yeah, because day one of the company, we never worked
Yeah.
together before. Like we're that stupid, and we just met GP a week ago.
Yeah.
It's yeah, just meet up next week for the first day of the company, and we'll test you out. So yeah, the first project was to test our skills first. So, sorry, go ahead.
So, well,
So tell us about Gobtron and how it did, and where it ended up going on the web. Or
it's kind of weird. It all started from the business card, the GP's business card.
Do we have it? Yeah.
I don't know. It was like kind of a monster, the face of a monster that looked stupid, and on the back of it you could see his
ass.
Yeah, his ass. Well, just a bit. So we kind of had fun with it, just playing around and faking it was a big monster destroying stuff and just messing around. And we should make a game out of that, and that's how Gumtron is born. So we made a big monster not on the ledge, but near a cliff.
Yeah.
And he just protect himself from random people, I guess. And you need to go through ages. And
Yeah, we were making like a Defend Your Castle type of game back
Yeah.
when we had no idea what a Defend Your Castle game was. So it was all like guts and inches and
and it's pretty gross. So
super immature.
you should go try it out. We won't explain that part.
So what was your first really big hit? What put Juicy Beast on the map for game design?
Well, Gobtron wasn't like as close as a hit as Burrito Bison or Knightmare Tower were, but
Yeah.
I think when we first released it, it went like
Well, it went from
front
nowhere
page
to
on
the,
Newgrounds, and was it on Kongregate? Like
Yeah, it was.
Thursday?
Yeah. I think so.
Did
Yeah.
we hit the front page?
I think so. All of our games hit the front.
Yeah, so it was a hit for our first game, but yeah, our most popular titles were obviously Burrito Bison Revenge, and Knightmare Tower.
Yep.
So from the first game, it looked like you guys had some chemistry off the bat, and it looked like things were going to work out. And has the team mostly stuck together since then?
Yeah, it was a pretty good start for the experience we had. I think
which is basically none, except for
Yeah.
you. You had like a year of experience at.
I worked at Gameloft for a year, and during that years I worked. Well, while Johan was still at school, I worked like day at Gameloft and night with Johan starting the project, and then left Gameloft and started Juicy Beast, just like that.
Yeah, so I basically have like no real work experience at all, which is awesome. But yeah, what was the question?
I was just talking about asking if the team ended up working out together, and it sure seems like it has, looking at all your games that you've been working on. So let's talk about Burrito Bison, the elephant in the room. So what was the idea? How did you guys come up with Burrito Bison? Like, where did that start from?
It's a long, long story.
Like the whole prototyping phase is as long as the whole development phase, including polishing and publishing. And it's crazy. So the story behind it is super long and complex.
It wasn't even supposed to be a TOS game or a launch game. You know the game Cannibal?
Yeah.
I think it started from there.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something like a running game, kind of a runner.
Like the initial idea was a mix between Cannibal and Brutal Legend, as far as theme goes. Like Metalhead. What was the story like?
You wanted to go see a show.
A show in hell.
It was the last ticket, and a giant robot just like
stole it from you, and you were gonna run
after him.
And you were like, the whole concept was that you were supposed to do like body surfing on the crowd. So the idea of stomping on people was there from the start, but the gameplay really had nothing to do with the actual game.
Yeah, it didn't work that well.
Yeah, we spent like months in prototyping, figuring out what wasn't fun, what was fun, and I think at the last minute, like we were either gonna kill the project or copy another game just to make sure that we make some money out of it
before we die.
Yeah, and we decided to go with a typical launcher.
Like Taz the Turtle.
Yeah, like Taz the Turtle. That was the big one back then. And we mixed like Taz the Turtle with what we already had, and it just. I think JP was doing sketches for poses, like stances for the metalhead guy we had.
Yeah.
And you had some fun, like replacing one of them with a luchador's mask, stuff like that. And we thought it was funny, so we just. I think at that point we decided to switch the whole.
Theme.
The whole theme, and we wanted to. I think we wanted to play with gore elements, like have people explode and like have blood and guts, but that's not really our style. So we just took the gore idea and went like, what if they are like candy and they explode in jelly and stuff like that instead? So okay, so we have a luchador fighting candies. That's cool. That's funny. Let's go with that. And I think that's what's made the whole core of the theme. Then we expanded on with Candyland, the doors.
The giant doors.
Yeah, the doors came in as that feature was a a design fix, because
Yeah. Well, because launcher games, basically you just launch your dude, you just watch it, and that's it. You just do nothing. And we hated that and wanted to like do something more. That's
like
why
like you have no progress.
yeah, just feel like doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But, that's why we added the giant door. Like you hit something and you want to break through it just to see what's behind it, which
some
is
some kinds of milestones.
yeah, small milestones. And another thing was when you go up the over the screen, you just see random numbers of how high you are, but nothing happens. And we wanted to get rid of that, so we implemented the cotton candy smash. Like you go into the cloud and you.
Yeah, if you can reach high enough, you get an instant power up and stuff like that.
Which is a great. The first time you see it, it's pretty awesome. Like something special happens, and you're just surprised by it. So we added a lot of stuff just to make the game feel like you have an input into it, just not watching it.
Yeah, the whole special gummy bear minigames idea.
Yeah,
was,
that's right.
Like we took everything we hated, or didn't like with the genre of launcher games, and just wrote find an alternative that would be fun for us.
Mm.
So that's how the cotton candy, the doors, and the gummy bears idea came in. Do we have another one? I think the opponent.
Well, the stomp mechanic, like the rocket launch. I don't know how you call it.
Yeah, so you can have a tiny bit of control over a character instead of just looking at it fly forever and just cross your fingers or something. So
For something
you
happen.
You can play without clicking, I think.
Yeah, you could just watch it, but I mean it's more entertaining when you play with it and you use your tool to get the better out of your run.
Yeah,
that's how it was designed, at least.
So can you actually beat it without interacting with the game? Can you actually just launch and finish the game?
Yeah, you could, but it will take a lot longer and maybe more power-ups, more stuff to actually get to the end. Because without your input, every many games you get, you have no power up out of them. You gain no speed. I don't know, because you need to maximize them. And
is it possible in the first Burrito Bison or just in Revenge?
Yeah. You need to do stuff. If you get the bubble, the chewing gum.
Oh yeah, right.
You slow down.
Powerful.
Anyway.
So I guess this is a challenge to anyone on Kongregate right now. Someone needs to go figure out how to beat the games and put it in a video and send it to us so we can see if it's actually true.
Go play Burrito Bison and don't play.
Yeah, and don't play it.
So it looks like you put a lot of care into the control scheme. It's a one-button game, which I didn't really realize the first time I was playing it, and then I was playing it again. I'm like, oh, you guys you could play this entire game with one button. Is that something that you put a lot of thought into? What went into designing the control mechanic for the game?
Yeah, I think.
Well,
did we have mobile in mind?
Yeah.
From the start, I think we did.
We had mobile in mind since Feed the King.
Yeah, we wanted to make the game mobile ready day one. So that's when we decided to make everything one button. So I think the most challenging part was to design the gummy bear minigames, because we didn't want you to touch anything specific in the screen. We wanted you to be able to touch anywhere, so you can be right-handed, left-handed, whatever. You can play with your nose. It can work. That was the main concern actually.
Yep.
We didn't want any swipes or specific movements. We just wanted to be touch-based. So everything is pretty much based on timing. That's the reason why. If we ever make a Burrito Bison 3 or whatever, this is going to be another challenge, to figure out new mini games that are different enough but still work with a one-button mechanic.
Yeah.
And be clear, because we had some of them that worked, but the timing was hard. Their goal was hard to explain. So it was pretty confusing at first. When do I press? We had gummy bears that you had to hold. I think the glider.
Rockets,
oh yeah.
You just have to click at the right time.
Oh yeah. In Burrito Bison Revenge.
The pogo stick.
Pogo stick was timing based. When you hit the ground. That's a tough one. like where's the ground? Yeah, but we spent quite a lot of time making sure the one button mechanic was well supported.
Because we had mobile in mind, so we couldn't do it at a time, but we knew we wanted to make mobile game or put our games on mobile. Oh,
I'm gonna close the door.
I gotta go.
Oh, he's out. So yeah, what was he saying?
We're talking about one button pushing.
Yeah, we couldn't back then. We weren't able to port our own games. Amazon, and we knew that the day we were gonna ask another developer to port the game for us, that it was gonna be like it was gonna be port ready. Like, oh no, we don't have to go back over that mechanic and make it mobile friendly, make it work on mobile. So we were designing the game like we were developing for mobile back then. At first.
You did go mobile. Burrito Bison ended up coming to iOS. Did it go to Android as well?
No, because the developer who made it, Ravenous Games, was a iOS developer only. Like, it was making everything in Objective-C and Coco's 2D. So yeah, no Android back then. I think we had a couple like talks about chats about putting it on Android. Like, that's another thing. Like, we were looking for a third developer to help us out with the Android port, and it's just Knightmare. So since we switched to Unity, we can do everything ourselves.
Which is cool.
Yeah, that's the main reason why we switched to Unity was to be able to port our own games ourselves, because
make it better.
Because we're super like annoying with details, so we spend a lot of time fixing like tiny little things that people don't necessarily notice. But when we ask another developer to port the game for us and they don't see it and they don't port it, we just get pissed and like So we spend like the same amount of time explaining what we should be ported, and
how it works and how.
Yeah. It's hell.
I think that was one of the marks of quality that I first saw in the games that you worked on, was especially for like even the most mundane things like the UI coming in for Burrito Bison's menus, and the fact that the buttons squish when you click them, and there's a sound effect, and you guys put a lot of effort into making the overall experience just a really solid, cohesive piece. Like everything squishes, like it's because it's gummy bears.
Glad you noticed.
Yeah, I don't think it shows that well, but the main idea in Burrito Bison was that the buttons were like gummy buttons, and you were supposed like to punch them. So there's like a punch hit effect when you click on them. It's not super clear, but that was the intent. But yeah, we do spend a lot of time in UI, probably more than most developers. I think a lot of developers hate doing UI, and I like it.
Which is
At
good
least,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, because I usually take care of the UI, then I build something crazy, like overkill for nothing, and then the programmer over there just, oh man.
Yeah, I don't know how you are, but whenever I'm making games, I always make the UI before I make the actual game itself. Like, I have the game concept, but I don't actually start programming the game until the UI is done.
Wow.
Because you hate it, and
and you want to get rid of it?
you keep the last.
No, I love it. It's my favorite part. So I don't think I'm normal in that sense. I don't think a lot of people UI.
Well, yeah, we're both not normal. But yeah, I think UI is super important, because like you can have a really good game and a really shitty UI, and that part just doesn't feel like on par with the rest of the game. Like the user experience just shifts when you have to use the UI, and it just doesn't feel right. Like the whole experience is not even. Like UI and gameplay should be on the same level at all time, I think. So yeah.
True.
All right, so we have a question from someone in chat named Joagox. He wants to know what's inside the box.
Which box?
I don't know.
Oh, the Amazon box. Can you open it? Is it X-rated?
Well, I can try to see what's in it.
He doesn't even know. Probably Christmas gift for friends and family. Because since we're always at the office, we have everything shipped here, so that way we don't like have to go get our package back when we arrive. Oh, sweet stuff!
You guys ready? Nope.
It's long. It's black. It's Cards Against Humanity.
Yay! Christmas gift.
I hope the person you bought it for isn't watching right now.
That would be funny.
Yeah, Christmas was just spoiled. I have another question from Sink the Bismarck. Where can we get a Gummy Bear poster like the one you guys have in the background?
That one actually we took the you can buy it on, if you can find our DeviantArt account. I think there's a link to buy it on DeviantArt. It's pretty expensive. It's expensive though. For ourselves, we just took the file and went over to like Walmart and had it printed for $20. You can contact us like on our site and we can send you the file, I guess, so you can print it yourself. But we're not gonna print it for you, that's for sure.
Well, we got a printer, but it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, you can go to Staples or
anything,
Costco, stuff like that.
All right, we have another question from Joe Gox, who's asking, what does it feel like to be indie?
It feels great, man. Look. You can have like green walls.
Yeah.
You can have posters. No, seriously. You can do pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you have to be confident about it, because if you're not doing it right, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get food, money to buy food and a house, so you're gonna live outside and eat nothing. That's the main concern. So it's cool, you can do whatever you want, but you have to do it right, because it's pretty hard to sell your game. There's so many games out there right now that,
especially these days, it's just too easy to make games.
Yeah, you
can make shitty games.
Yeah, you can spend like 2 years making crappy games that nobody cares about, and you never asked anyone's opinion about it because you're afraid, so your game sucks and nobody tells you, and then you try to reach the press or review websites, whatever, and they receive like 200 emails a day, and they're gonna pick their favorite ones, and that's it. That's who gets to survive. It's super hard, but I think you have to make good games.
You feel like you guys are spending a lot of time doing a lot of heavy lifting or talking to press, doing things that is taking you away from making games?
Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, our team's setup is like we have one main programmer, one main artist. So I help GP with the art sometimes. I do the UI. Dom helps with the code a bit, but like 3/4 of our time is spent on management and marketing. And
back in the day, it was not like that when we used to make Flash games, because we just had to put it on Kongregate. It was awesome. Everything was done. Like,
Flash games were easy.
Well, we had tons of views. Everybody knew us, and then now we want to put the game on iOS. Well, if you don't talk about it, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like dropping your game, like as if your game is a ball. Like you put it in a automatic like tennis ball or baseball launcher.
Yeah.
Like Flash games websites are like that. That you just drop your game in it and it just.
If it's good, everybody's gonna play it.
Yeah, now we have to throw it ourselves, and look at our arms. It's pretty hard. So yeah, good metaphor there.
Yep. I hope it was clear.
So that's how it feels like.
Yeah.
Right, so no one else named Blue G is asking, you're apparently Canadian, so
why do you say that?
How can you
what do you consider the best part of Canada?
The French-Canadian part, of course. Le Québec.
Salut.
Hey.
Ben ouais.
Yeah, that's our favorite part. But
yep.
The whole Canada country is awesome. Everybody's super kind. That's pretty much it.
All right. So someone named the Exp is asking why is your favorite game you've made, or what is the favorite game that you've made, and why is it Knightmare Tower?
Why our favorite? What?
What was the question?
What is our favorite game that we made?
Yeah, what is your favorite game you've made, and why is it Knightmare Tower?
Okay. So c'est quoi, mais c'est Nightmare.
Yeah, so we have to say Knightmare Tower.
Yeah,
right?
I guess. Well, I could say that we spent a lot of time on Knightmare Tower since the Flash version. So we expanded it on mobile, and we made the port. So obviously we made a better version of Knightmare Tower, which we are, I think, pretty proud of it. It's well, I think the game is pretty complete on how it is right now, and here it's a huge achievement because we've never had games by ourselves on mobile, iOS, Android. We put it on Steam, we put it on Ouya, we explored so many things with that game, so it's cool. Knightmare Tower is pretty good, yeah.
So how did Knightmare Tower come about? Like, what was some of the ideas or plans for making that game?
Yeah, that one's interesting because we were approached back then by a big company that was releasing one of their new phone models. We won't say who, but they already had a marketing theme going on with another company, and the idea was to make a YouTube video. Like the ad for the phone was going to be playing on YouTube, and you had the possibility to change the resolution of the video to something like 16 bits and 8 bits, and the video would just switch to a game. So we were contacted to make one of these games. I think the other studio was Berserk Studio.
That's right.
So yeah, we made a prototype that was essentially like Knightmare Tower, but with a different theme, with different characters.
A basic version.
Yeah, really basic version. Really arcadey, but the essential, like the core was there. But they didn't like it. They thought it wasn't going to be viral enough, and we never understood why.
The thing is, they wanted us to do a game like any kind of game, but they wanted to make it like a Mario Kart kind of game, like Super Nintendo Mario Kart. But they said, well, you can do whatever you want, but we'd really like to have a Mario Kart, but just like that.
Yeah,
so.
You can do whatever you want. Okay, so we're gonna try something new. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, maybe you should like make them drive carts.
Yeah.
And stuff. Okay, you want a Mario Kart.
And we had a month to do that, so it's pretty much impossible to do a Mario Kart in a month.
A 16-bit Mario Kart, SNES type of game. Like, yeah, of course. So yeah, eventually we spent so much time negotiating on the concept that there wasn't enough time to make the game. So
about a week to make the game.
Yeah, so they pulled the plug on our game, and Berserk Studio made their game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was only one game in the end, and we had fun with the initial prototype, and we thought it was good, so we decided to expand on it and like give it another theme, medieval theme, knights and monsters and swords and stuff like that. So it's essentially the same game since the client prototype.
We just added so many stuff, like lava.
Yeah, that's weird.
A huge tower.
But yeah, so we're proud of that game because we managed to catch that prototype that was failing and make something good out of it. And then it was our first game that we ported ourselves, and then it's the first game that went on like every platform we reached. It's the first game we had on these platforms. So it's our personal own achievement game.
Yeah, it was one of the first breakout hits on Ouya, alongside Towerfall.
Yeah, we were part of the launch series. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first Ouya game I purchased. I got a nice picture of a cat for purchasing it.
Thanks.
If you purchase Total Temple on Ouya, you're gonna get a different one.
Yep, the second one.
That you can print again. Yeah.
The perfect segue into Toto Temple. So Toto Temple Deluxe is it's in development still, but it's out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Ouya exclusive at first. The exclusivity ended like
November 24th. If you want to know.
Yeah. So they helped us like they approached us with the original Total Temple, which we made in like 48 hours in a game jam in Toronto. That was like only had one level, no power-ups, nothing, and they liked it because they saw the popularity of Towerfall and like other multiplayer games on Ouya, so they wanted more. So they helped us like make a bigger version out of it. That's how we went. That's how we made Total Temple Deluxe, which is essentially the same game but with more content, more polished, more details, more everything.
A lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. So they've been supporting us pretty well since we started working on it. Now we are working on unofficial versions, like unannounced versions for different platforms. Wink, wink. So yeah, it's going pretty well.
Yep, we got a lot of new stuff in it, and pretty awesome too.
We're actually working on a AI like bots update, so you can play by yourself, which helps a lot, I think, because a big part of the feedback we received was that nobody had friends around to test it, and since it's a multiplayer game, like local multiplayer game only, it's hard to enjoy by yourself.
Yeah, so if you haven't played Total Temple yet, Total Temple's a shared 4-player screen game where you're trying to grab a goat and hold on to this goat while everyone else is attacking you and trying to run into you. And collecting coins, earning points, and it's a really great party game. You should check it out on Ouya and whatever mystery places it's coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be released on Flash, but
sorry,
it's too big.
And you need 4 controllers to play.
Yeah, you need 4 controllers.
So how has the development of single-player mode gone? Is it difficult to program an AI that's competitive and hard to play against? And tell us a little more about that.
Well, it's not hard for us. It's probably harder for Alex, though, because he's handling it. It's not that easy, actually. We had to cheat a little bit. Like, it's not... Since the AI is not behaving exactly the same way as a normal player would do, that would be like super complicated to make. We decided to make like another type of player, like instead of the little Totos that are like
walking around and jumping,
half moon shape, whatever. Yeah, they're like just like small boxes with wings, so they don't have to jump and like figure out where the walls or the floor is and stuff like that. They just fly. So that's a lot easier for us.
But it's still complicated.
Yeah, because they have a lot of different what's the word? Like goals. Like they want to.
Yeah.
Like at the same time, they want to go grab the goat. They want to go grab a big bunch of coins. They want to go grab like a power up. Like. It's like, how do you define which one you go for first, and how important is the coin versus the goat versus the power up versus everything?
So based on where they are in the level, they gotta like see what's the closest thing and the more important thing to go first. Even though the goat is supposed to be like the thing you want, sometimes you want to go like just move a bit to like go around, grab a big coin because it's worth a lot of points. And you want points in the game. Yeah,
you can like they can bend their path a little bit, like to just go grab a coin at the same time and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different cases, and since every level in the game is like unique and has its own unique mechanic, which is something that goes from breakable blocks to moving blocks to water, shifting walls, name it, lava, geysers, etc. So every like the network of
nodes
like for the movement of the AI needs to be adjusted for each level, and each level needs to be like handcrafted.
Yeah.
So every time we put out a new level, like we have a new one coming up that is pretty tricky as well.
Yeah, because you need to program how they're supposed to use that new feature in the level, so it's not like you can't just put the AI in a new level and it's gonna work first time, because there's always new stuff that they don't know how it works, and it's unique stuff, so it's not really possible to adjust them.
Yeah, a spoiler is the new level has teleporters that are not present in any of the other levels, so they don't know how to use teleporters. Like they could go from left to right super quickly, and they have to know that how to use that. So that's tricky. That's the hard part with the AI.
And there's a lot of power-ups too, so you need to know how to use the power-ups. So
Yeah.
what do we do with a bomb? What do we do with a shield? What do we do with anything? So there's a lot of stuff to do.
Defensive, passive.
And we've got 2 modes, so they need to know how to play and like chase the goat, or when I have a bum goat on my head, what do I do with it? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to think.
A lot of custom adjustments.
Yep.
It sounds like the addition of adding computers AI is adding this whole extra layer of complexity on top. Now you have to everything that you build into the game now has to interact with the AI, and it sounds like you guys have your plate full every single time something
I think
updates.
we would be done with the game if it wasn't for the
Yeah.
AI update.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. They behave like not like human, but they have the same goal as us. So when I'm playing, if I think I should go get that power up, well, the AI is going there first, so I need to be quick. So they act like real players, which is really good
Yeah, it's a good intelligence
so far.
so far. They're hard. They're probably gonna beat you
Yep.
if you don't drop the difficulty level.
We've got a setting that is extreme, so they like do everything perfectly. So you just can't win. I think I'm the best player here with Alex, and we have difficulty winning against them. So yeah, extreme is pretty extreme.
So I'll take a few questions from our chat window, which is going alongside. If you have any questions, you can go to Kongregate.com. We have a link to our live event where you can actually chat in a game window and you can ask questions, and we're getting a bunch of them answered right now. So one of the questions is from East End Dead End is asking, do you have plans to make any multiplayer games?
Like
Dorotem?
oh
I'm
yeah,
guessing like online multiplayer.
Yeah.
we don't have any plans.
Don't think so.
And Total Temple is not going to be online because the game is too frantic and too twitchy. Like any delay at all would make the game unplayable. There's a good article on that on Polygon. If you search for like multiplayer Towerfall, blah blah blah, it explains pretty much all the reason why you don't want to make your game multiplayer if it's like that.
Well, if it's 4-player local and you got to be like really tight in the controls and stuff like that.
Yeah, like an example of that would be that like games like Street Fighter, like the recent ones that you can play online, their speed is slowed down pretty much like significantly because you have to allow time for the server to adjust like the delays and everything. So if it's super fast and super twitchy, you're gonna notice how unfair the game is. Like, oh, you avoided that shot, but no, like on your opponent's version, you took the shot in your face, and now the game has to like balance the two versions, and it's hell. So that's why we won't be making multiplayer games.
And it wouldn't be fun, so why would we do it?
Yeah, so you can play with people you don't know or that are far from you, but the game is not gonna respond correctly. So
if you would ever do a multiplayer game, I guess it's gonna be something totally different that will work for online multiplayer.
Turn-based works well.
Something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like Total Temple works really well because everyone's in the same room and everyone's laughing and enjoying the game together, whereas online you lose a lot of that.
Or maybe a slower game like Gentleman Dispute that we made in another game jam. I don't know if you've heard of it. Did you?
Yeah.
So yeah, that game could maybe work because it's slower and less precise. So we could cheat a little bit and it wouldn't show that much compared to Total Temple, but still.
We'll see, I guess.
So a lot of questions about games you like to play as well. Killer5453. Oh, sorry. Bogdan6222 is asking what type of games you like to play.
I think we all have our kind of game. We'll play some different stuff. I play a lot of indie games like these days was Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I think you're playing too. We played what games like Braid back in the day, Super Meat Boy, Awesome Notes. We played a lot of that.
Yeah, Alex has played like 300 hours so far, I think.
Yeah.
What else? Sometimes we play like bigger AAA games as well.
Not me anymore.
But the goat just went. Yeah, depends on what's hot, what's new, what has been in our wish lists on Steam for like forever. Depends on the Steam sales. Yeah, do you have any other example? Like sometimes we just play stuff that we know we should have been playing, like we should have played but never did. Like recently, I played Empty Chamber. That was super cool, and I never played before. Sometimes we just go back and revisit like good indie classics that we never had the chance to play. So it's pretty random, I think.
Yeah, I think we play a lot of games, like any genre, so nothing specific.
What are your favorite games?
That's a tough one.
Binding of Isaac was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
Favorite games? Well, new patches of Diablo 3 are not bad. At first it was not.
Yeah.
What else? Terraria. I played a lot of Terraria. It was really good, but I think I'm the only one who played it here.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
But you should play Terraria. It's a really good game. Like Minecraft, but better. At least for me.
Yes, CJMM77 is asking, do you play Minecraft?
No, we don't.
The thing is, I've never played Minecraft. I just watch a video and I'm like, what?
I think we're afraid. I think Alex played it a little bit, but it's like crack. You don't want to start.
All right, let's see. More questions. Man, there's just a lot of video game questions coming through now. What was your first video game consoles?
That was the Nintendo, the first one.
The NES.
Yes.
Yeah, NES. Pretty much. Did
you have Atari or stuff like that?
I think I had like a Turbo Graphics, but that was after, I think. Like my parents were. I wasn't like super like I wasn't an active gamer as a child. Like I was only playing like stuff I could rent at the local video store or that my parents would bring home from a garage sale. Can you say that?
Garage? I don't know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I only played like the games that would normally come with the console and stuff like that. So.
But for me, first game I remember was Super Mario World and stuff like that. You played these games?
Yeah. Of course. First.
Super Metroid.
SNES was good. Played a lot of Yoshi Island,
Power
Rangers,
Power
Star
Rangers.
Fox, Killer Instinct on
Saber Wolf.
All right, question from DD410. Question for JB, PlayStation or Xbox?
I could say maybe.
Steam? Okay.
Yeah. I have both at home. Alex does too. I have a thing for PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's my favorite console. I remember buying an Xbox console like when it's 360 when it was super cheap because I wanted to play like indie exclusives that were still exclusive back then, like Super Meat Boy, Fez, and Spelunky, stuff like that. Now they're everywhere, like on PlayStation and Steam. So it was a short move, but. Yeah.
But I think we have a thing for PlayStation more than Xbox right now, but.
Yeah, that's just the current state of the market. It could change.
It could.
Cool.
Nobody mentioned Nintendo. That's all.
Yeah, why no Nintendo?
Man.
So, Cosmo Hill asks, when will Knightmare Tower have carts in it?
In the Steam version?
Oh, carts.
Yes.
Carts, Mario Karts.
Oh, carts. It would be that was so stupid. That would be so stupid. Like a flying cart. Like you just bounce with your cart. We could do it like right now, but it wouldn't make sense at all. So probably never.
It makes sense to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that would end up in the top comments on Kongregate like forever, like 1 million upvotes.
So Blue G asks, what was your inspiration to make Feed the King?
That was a.
What's that about?
The inspiration was an actual arcade
Arcade game.
machine you can find in like
Cinema.
shopping centers and stuff like that. Like you have to align blue squares going from left to right, and you have to reach the top to win a prize. And I think we just took that idea and went with like, hey, let's make ourselves our own game jam in the office and make something similar but with a quirkier concept. And we added the whole like you launch the king upwards that eat the cakes from below, and like we're always super tired when we make game jams and that kind of stuff, and like comes out.
And we didn't want to have physics in it, so we could stack the cake like in really weird spot, and it's still like.
And even as the king is eating them from below, like they still hold up. Yeah, you can go pretty high, like in space. If you reach space, you can see
the last boss in Gobtron.
Yeah, you can see the last boss from Gobtron passing by the space shuttle.
But if you get there, you should send me an email because I don't think anybody
saw it.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard.
It's like the hardest achievement in the game.
Yep.
Cool. So more like the questions are now just flowing in. I am the Candyman asks, when are you making Knightmare Tower?
With a K. Good pun.
But a real question now. Vitor GP asks, what software do you guys use to do all the art in your games?
It's all in Flash.
All Flash.
Sometimes a bit of Photoshop.
Yep.
No,
mostly Flash.
Yeah, everything is in Flash.
Like 99% Flash.
So you're doing all of your development in Unity, and then you're importing all your art from Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex made his own Flash exporter, so we can export like movie clip animation and tweens and stuff like that, and it all puts the PNG files and the data of the actual motion of the tweens that we can read back inside Unity. So it's super useful.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another one another tool similar made by Grapefruct. Yeah, Grapefruct. KT at the end. Yeah, search it. Grapefruct exporter. It's pretty much the same thing, and it's free.
So if someone came up to you and asked, hey, I want to make games. I've never made games before. I have really good ideas, but I have no clue where to start. Where would you point them, or what would you say for them to do?
Go back home.
I remember back then, like when we were making Flash games, and we were receiving similar questions. I used to point people back at the Kongregate tutorial page, like a lot. But I don't do that anymore. I would say like learn like tutorials for an engine like GameMaker or something easy, like maybe Construct, GameMaker, maybe Flash.
There's a lot of easy tool to learn.
Flexel, yeah.
These days.
And just like try to make your idea and see how hard it is. Then you're gonna have a good idea of what you need to make a game.
You should start small too, because if you have a big idea, you're never gonna get to finish it. So
take your idea, cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, and maybe again.
Yeah.
Or maybe game jams are a good
that's right.
good example as well. So you have no time at all to expand your concept, and you have to ship. So
you have to do something quickly and something that's fun. So the core mechanic has to be fun, unless
even if your code is crappy as hell, like it just has to work.
Mm-hmm.
So most of your concepts come from participating in game jams?
It's not like a thing we tell ourselves, but I think it just does. Because we try to make like 1 or 2 game jam every year, and like we're lucky enough that the end results is good enough that we can expand upon it. So if the game is worth it, we do it. So yeah, it looks like most of our game comes from game jams.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a good way to prototype and test your idea. So if it's not fun, you only lost like 2 days. If it's fun, then cool.
Do something with it later. Maybe.
Someone's asking, do you guys love user feedback?
All the time.
Yep, it's always useful to see how people what they think of our game. I know everybody is different, but we try to like see if there's a big flaws in our games, and if there is, well, for the next version we fix them and we have a better version. Like Total Temple Deluxe, we had a lot of requests for the bots. That's what we do right now, making bots. It's really hard, but we do it for the fan.
Yeah, for the Ouya version, we spend a lot of time on the Ouya forum to just post updates and see what people are thinking and like expand upon it. So back then it was like Kongregate comments, stuff like that. But now we have to go back to forums and blog comments when we post updates and stuff like that.
But it's pretty funny to read like stupid comments from people about something crazy that we did, but it's just funny. But like the princesses in Knightmare Tower, like that last princess who looked like an alien. Like it's just funny to see people talking about the king, how the king was, and why he has so many daughters. We didn't think at first about that, and when we read them, it's like, oh, it's funny. Yeah, it's true. We didn't even like.
We didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That way.
The way it is.
So yeah, not just constructive comments, but any kind.
Someone is asking if you put Easter eggs in your games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most people don't see it.
In Dale and the Peak, if you look through a hole in a cave, you could see a rabbit that winks at you. Anyway.
That's super precise.
I remember that because nobody talked about it.
Yeah, I think for a long time we tried to have like Gobtron cameos or Easter eggs in all of our games. Like I think one of the clouds in Burrito Bison is shaped like Gobtron.
Yeah.
It's actually Gobtron. So it's super hard to see because it's super fast. But
there's a lot of hidden stuff in the background and stuff like that about our games that you could find, but except that.
Yeah, background. Yeah, sometimes it's just like inside jokes for us that nobody can understand. Or like in Gentleman Dispute, there's 2 gentlemen fighting in a street, and the backdrop, like the background art of the street, there's a door and an address on it, and the address is the address of our office, but nobody knows it. There's like a lot of stuff like that.
Well, the biggest thing, well, it's a bit of a spoiler if you haven't played Knightmare Tower, but the last potion, the last potion in Knightmare Tower turns you into one of our characters. So it's
yeah, you drink hot sauce and you transform. There's probably like a million other references. There's a lot of references to the local hockey team in Montreal,
yeah,
Montreal Canadiens, because GP is a big hockey fan and he draws the logo pretty much everywhere, stuff like that.
That's funny. I just got a hockey question. Is hockey treated more as a religion or more as a need, such as water?
It depends on who, I guess.
Because we're Canadians, yeah, it depends on who you are. I think for GP
it's both.
Like he drinks his religion. Now he's a huge fan. Like he's actually a super big nerd, hockey nerd, because he knows like all the stats from all the players from all the countries and all the leagues, and it's crazy. You apply that to Dungeon and Dragon, and he's a huge dork, but he's not. He's super cool. Yeah, it's our hockey reference. We're not huge fan of hockey ourselves, but GP is fan enough for the four of
the
us.
whole team.
Yeah. He's
I have a few questions about the goat in your hand.
Can you stop playing with it? No.
What is the goat's name is the first question.
Well, the goat's name, it's just the goat.
Yep, the goat.
Because no, there's no name. Get the goat. That's the thing.
But we'll think about it and add it as an Easter egg in the game. Maybe.
So in Toto Temple, there's no name for the goat either.
I think yeah, we don't always name our character because I think Knightmare Tower's character has a name, but we never wrote it anywhere.
It's Melvin.
It's Melvin, but nobody knows. Nobody. Now you do, but
yep.
That's it. Melvin. If you comment like somewhere and like talk to us about Melvin, we're gonna be the only ones who can understand.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
no name for the goat.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I have a question from TJMM77. Do you guys have a hard time making 3D games, or do you just have no aspirations to make 3D games? Or...
Yeah, we just hate it. No, we yeah, it's kind of true. No, 3D takes a lot of time to make it look good, and we're not that good in 3D, and we prefer like 2D games in general. And we're just better at 2D. We don't have the patience to work in 3D. We did a bit of 3D back in school, and it was our worst projects.
Yeah.
So we stuck to we stick to 2D.
Well, we like to do some 3D effects sometimes, but no, it's mainly 2D.
I think one of our first the first mobile prototype for Knightmare Tower, the background we tried to make it like half a circle, like in real 3D. To have the depth effect on the bricks and stuff like that, but it looked like crap. It was weird.
Well, with the lava, we need to so
So many fixes. Yeah, that's as far as 3D we can go.
A juicy beast.
All right, so we're running out of time, so I'm going to ask the questions that you knew you were going to have to answer. So what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
We knew about it, and we still don't have an answer. I think GP would say chocolate.
Yeah, probably chocolate. For GP.
Like triple chocolate.
Quadruple chocolate.
With chocolate chunks in it and chocolate syrup on it.
And chocolate chuck.
Dipped in chocolate.
And the other question is, how would you survive the zombie apocalypse?
We would die like the first ones. Our office is like in the ground. We would like die first if there wasn't a zombie apocalypse. Like they can just kick in the windows and
there's nothing we can do.
Crawl in, yeah.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you're the first to die in the zombie apocalypse, but I guess that means that we're going to be safer and not die soon.
Yeah,
we're giving you time to escape while we're being eaten.
Think about that next time we release a game. Think about it.
No problem.
Oh, these guys would die for me. Might as well buy their games.
Before they die.
And as a final question, do you have any plans beyond Toto Temple? Do you have any concepts that you're starting to sketch out, or is that yet to be seen?
So you want spoilers?
Yeah, we want spoilers.
It's all over the place because, as we said earlier, we have every time we do a game jam, we have something that is decent. That we can work on it later on, and now we're at the point that we have to choose, all those projects, which ones we want to make. That's a question we haven't answered yet.
Yep, so many possibilities.
Yeah. So just look at our game jam games and past games, and that's probably going to be something in those areas. Cool. On as much consoles platforms as we can, as always.
Well, great. Well, thanks guys for joining us on Kongregate Live. You should go check out Toto Temple Deluxe, which is out on Ouya and secretly coming to other platforms, which they didn't say. And you can always check out Burrito Bison Revenge, and Knightmare Tower, and all the other games on Kongregate.com. Thanks guys for joining us. It was awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Ciao.
Later.